Hello folks once again, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Bootcast with Irish Bootstrapper. I'm your host Eugene Devereaux. This is Series 3, Episode 4. Our guest today is none other than our new sponsee, Mr. Stephen Brennan, a Footgolf player from Carlow, Ireland. Footgolf is a relatively new sport. It's a combination of football and golf. It's played in many different countries and it's growing in popularity every year. So absolutely delighted to be involved in helping out Stan with the sponsorship for his 2020 Irish Tour. In today's episode we learned a little bit about the sport, a bit about travel, some of the physical and mental challenges that Stan has had to overcome as a player, and without further ado, please welcome Stan Brennan on Season 3, Episode 4.
Thanks a million for having me on, and as I said, thanks a million for sponsoring me. It's a great help, so it is, being honest with you. We're not funded or anything like that. We've no sponsors or anything like that, so kind of update maybe each individual to get their own sponsor, and I was lucky enough that you said you'd help out, and so it's great. I mean, help out with a bit of gear and a bit of travel, a bit of entry fees, expenses, stuff like that really does help, so I really appreciate it. And to be honest with you, I'm absolutely delighted to wear your brand as well. I mean, that mental health is huge in Ireland. As everyone knows someone that suffers a bit with mental health, so to wear your brand, I was delighted, so I was.
Yeah, no problem at all. And delighted, over the moon really to get my first individual or team, first foot golfer sponsored. So this could be the start of good things to come for the brand and for yourself, and hopefully it helps out in any way, as you say, like traveling to the events and entry fees and wearing the gear, and brilliant. So just to give people an idea, so you're a foot golfer.
Yeah.
So
I am, yeah.
What the hell is that?
It's kind of what it is, to be honest with you, in the sense of it's played on golf courses. You have no clubs though. You just have a size 5 football, and that's it. And you kick it into a bigger hole, and that's the general gist of it. Like you have par 3s, you have par 4s, you have par 5s, but it's the exact same kind of rules as golf.
Yeah,
but just kicking a football into a bigger hole.
Obviously, with the whole COVID-19 at the moment, is it hard to play, or are places open, or
no? Everywhere's closed down. All the golf courses had to close down, so you can't. So the only thing you can really do is just a bit of practice in your back garden or the front garden. That's it, really.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't really have a big back garden, so it's very limited. So it is.
You digging holes out the back?
I did think about it, honestly. The wife wasn't too keen on the
idea. Super. So if anyone was to ask you what's your favorite story to tell, I suppose, from the foot golf?
I suppose my favorite one is probably the time when it was about September 2018, I'd say. It was the last competition before the World Cup. It was down in Shannon. It was the Munster Open. So I needed to finish 5th or better to qualify for the Irish team. But I won that tournament, so I did. So I qualified for the Irish team, but it was the first proper big tournament I actually won in Ireland. So it was. That's probably my favourite, because all the top players were there as well. So they were, and it was just nice to beat them, because we had played about 8 or 9 competitions before that, and I'd say probably I think I finished 2nd in one of them. But after that, then you're probably talking a few 5th place, maybe a 4th or a 6th. So it was nice to kind of win one fully outright. So it was.
And so Munster Open 2018.
It was, yeah.
To seal your place on the Irish team. So
yeah.
World Cup for foot golf, what does that involve? Where's it played usually, or does it change like the real?
It does. It changes, yeah. So there's been 3 now so far, I think. Sorry, has there been 3? There was definitely one in Argentina. I wasn't playing foot golf then. I only really started end of 2017, so it was just kind of coincidental. There was one then the next year. It was on in Morocco. There was one due to be held this year in Japan, so that would have been good, but it's obviously been cancelled now till next year, so I don't know what the story is with that at the minute. But it's just kind of every 2 years. It's meant to be every 2 years at the minute. They try to vary it from continent to continent, I suppose. It's pretty much like the Olympics and the World Cup. I mean, they try to spread it out, so they do, because there is a huge amount of players that played. Like at the World Cup last year in Morocco, there was 500 players playing it. There was about 33 countries represented, so there was.
Really, yeah? Jeez.
So it's pretty big, like, so it is.
Super. Is there any time that you really struggled mentally with something, and how did you overcome it?
I suppose that World Cup, I was really looking forward to it, as everyone would have been. And then about 5 weeks before it happened, I was down practicing down at Kilkenny. Just threw the ball down as I normally do, kicked away, felt a little pull in my leg, played on, woke up the next morning, I knew there was something wrong with my leg. So I went got physio for about 5 weeks. It didn't seem too bad. Went over to Morocco, played on the practice day, the first day, which was a Saturday. Where the likes of the World Cup or even big competitions in England, you could be talking, ones in England, you could be talking 2 days. The World Cup, you could be talking, that one I played last year or 2018, that was 6 or 7 days, like, so it was. So, like, my leg just was, I was at nothing by the end of the week. I had to stop after about maybe the third day. I mean, just my leg was completely banjack, so it was. So that mentally kind of knocked me for 6, so it did at the time. And you're just kind of trying to get support from your mates and your teammates and stuff like that, like, and just trying to work hard on it yourself, which is tough because you're just constantly by yourself.
Yeah.
But it's probably another aspect of the game you need to be strong in is your mental side, which my mental side of the game is pretty strong. But that injury, I couldn't really shake it. Every time I used to try to come back from it, it'd go again on me. So it wouldn't go to the same extreme, as in, it wouldn't be as badly damaged, but it would still be damaged enough that it'd be sore the next day in work and stuff like that. And I might not. We're lucky here again in Ireland that, well, lucky and unlucky, that competitions are only like every maybe 6 weeks. Whereas if I was playing in England or any of these places, France, America, where it's really big, they have competitions every single weekend, so to do. So I just wouldn't have been able for that sort of competition. Like I went to Glasgow last summer, about July, and played on it the first day. It was okay. Woke up then the second day again, the competition, had to pull out, couldn't play. I could have played through the pain, but it would have sent me back another 4, 5, 6 months possibly. Where it's kind of starting to come right now and starting to feel a bit positive with it, that I possibly could play maybe 2 days in a row now.
Super. And just, I suppose, just kind of keeping it in the challenge kind of mindset. What has been your biggest physical challenge ever?
What would be the biggest Footgolf? I suppose probably just coming back from that. I suppose has been a massive challenge. Like, because I mean, it's as I said, it's been 16 months now. It got misdiagnosed, so it did as well, from a hospital, and which was a bit of a disaster. Like, I was working on muscles that I possibly shouldn't have been working on, and then to get told it was to go back in the end and do the other muscles. So that was challenging as well. It's kind of a setback, and it can play on your mind as well, but it's trying to shut them little things out, I suppose, and stay positive is the main thing for me, and which I generally am fairly good at. That was probably the biggest challenge I've had in Footgolf, being honest. You obviously come across different challenges playing against different players. Like, it's brilliant to play against top class players. Like, Red Irish Open last year in Ireland, world number 1 playing on it, the world champion playing at it. You players from everywhere. It's lovely to test yourself against them, like, and challenge yourself to see where you're at. But there is some exceptionally good players in Ireland too. So there is, like, so I'm lucky enough that I get to play against them every competition that we do. Like,
and are you one of them?
Sometimes on my day, maybe. Not enough, unfortunately.
Just in terms of travel, then. So you're saying at the last World Cup there was 33 countries represented.
Possibly even more. Yeah, I think it could have been 37 countries in Morocco. Yeah. Now look, 1 or 2 countries. I think one country had only 1 player, but UK, not England. America, France, Italy, they had maybe up to 30 players. That sort of did, like, they're really big countries now. So, and there's big prize money for some of their competitions and all. So there is Switzerland, Holland, excellent country. We had 12 going to it now, so I did.
Yeah, just on that, like, we look at the likes of golf and tennis and some of the other sports that have huge prize pots. Like, is there any kind of funding nationally or any bodies that are helping out?
No, not at the minute, unfortunately. No, it's all kind of self-generated, whether you can get a sponsor for your actual Footgolf tour or else whether you can get an individual sponsor. That's it at the minute now. In other countries that they're lucky enough, they have sponsors and stuff like that. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And would you notice, like, in terms of the quality of player and the gear and just the whole kind of Footgolf setup for those?
Yeah, like, strangely enough, it's hard to believe, but there is actually professional foot golfers out there.
Yeah.
And they don't have jobs. They just travel the world, play Footgolf, and do well in the competitions and get money from that. And that's how that they can live off. Like, but they'll be making nice money. Like,
Would they? Yeah? And what kind
And it
of
would.
like prize funds would be there at the top level? Like,
I think the highest is a competition in Switzerland. I could be wrong on this now. It's called the Diamonds Cup. I think the winner of that last year got about 7,000. Now that's the extreme. Like everything after that, like possibly maybe the UK Open is very big. I think it's maybe 2,500 for the winner.
yeah.
After that, then you could be looking at competitions in the UK. You could be talking anything from 500 up to 1,000.
Yeah.
Which I mean, is it 500 quid even as a week's? It means a good week's wage, like.
Yeah, definitely.
In a competition, yeah.
Where have you been to in terms of travel for foot golf?
Me, outside of Ireland only, I have only played in Scotland and I played in Morocco. That was it.
Scotland,
Other than
Morocco.
that, you're just traveling Ireland the minute. Like there was a course up in Westport, Cashel, Navan, Tala, Kilkenny.
Yeah.
God, there's a good few all around there. So there is, yeah. There was one up in Hoth there. It was lovely. So it was lovely views and all. So there was, but that one went. There's one out in Cork. There's a few more starting. They're starting to creep open here and there. Some golf courses let players play at certain times. Some places like Kilkenny and Highfield in Kildare, they have their actual own foot golf course, and then over the far side of the field, for argument's sake, they would have a golf course.
What's your favourite country in the world?
America, because Disney World is there. Went there 4 years ago. My honeymoon was it's unbelievable.
Did you? To Disney World?
Yeah, unbelievable. I did other places as well. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah.
That was possibly one of my favourites.
What would be your top tip for somebody on the fence about trying a new pursuit, like foot golf, or just doing something a little bit out there that you might be ridiculed or skitted for even trying to do something like that?
Yeah, because even with foot golf, like lots of people haven't heard of it, don't know what it is, and even when you mention it to them that there's World Cups, this and that, they're just in shock. Like they can't believe it, so they can't. It's just a matter of getting out there, trying it. Like nights like tonight, for argument's sake, sun is shining, no wind, lovely. Get out there, fresh air, a bit of exercise, absolutely lovely. Like,
yeah,
kind of painful that you can't go down. I can't go down now and play it. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's just about, as I said, just getting out there, try it. If you're enjoying it, stay going with it. I suppose it's just about getting people just to try it, give it a go and see what they think. Like I suppose a lot of people there's probably lots of players out there that play it socially, and then they're thinking, Jesus, I'm not going to go play a competition. Like I go get hammered or make a show of myself. You know, kind of the way I like it. Geez, like we'll love to get new players, so we do. Like we currently at competitions here in Ireland, we probably have about anything from maybe 20 to 30 players at a competition. Probably 25 would be a really good day for us. So would. No juniors played, as in no one under the age of even 18 does play it. No females, I think, have ever played in a competition before. Like, So the trouble is in Ireland, you have your GAA, you have your soccer, you have your rugby. So most people are playing a sport and they're always on. Like the likes of soccer is always on Sunday. Same day we have competitions, which is hard for people. Maybe now, I suppose, with COVID, when I'd imagine golf courses will probably open up sooner than the rest. A few players might be able to play out and play it. Like, but it is very enjoyable. And some of the lads, I mean, the lads they're great lads to play with. Like they're always encouraging. There's no one kind of talking behind your back saying he's crap, he's this or that. Like everyone is encouraged. Everyone is very friendly. It's just a really nice sport, enjoyable sport.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Stan, it's been a pleasure having you on the Bootcast.
Eugene, thanks very much for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem at all. Before we go, how can people follow your journey, show support, or get in touch, learn a bit more about foot golf? Yeah,
if they go on to Footgolf Union of Ireland, we've loads of pictures there. We'll have videos up showing people of kind of the game, I suppose. I try to put a bit up of it myself on Twitter there, Stan Brennan 10, or on my Facebook page, just Stan Brennan as well. That's pretty much it. Like I said, if anyone ever wants to ever wants to know about it or get in touch or anything like that, feel free. We'd love to have new players, as I said. Brilliant. Maybe even yourself, you might join us someday. Sure, who knows? Well, I need to practice. I have 2 left feet at the moment, so I need to. Would you be a big reader of books, or? It's something I'm trying to get back into. It's kind of a case of trying to get off the phone and get the books into me. It's quite hard with a little baby as well, so it is, I can tell you. I read a book a while ago. I would say a while ago, maybe about a year ago. It was called Welcome to Hell, about a fella that was imprisoned in Thailand, wrongfully imprisoned in Thailand. It's very good, so it was. Yeah, it's not about your man who they get him addicted to heroin in jail and stuff to try and fight his way out. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. Very good. Highly recommend it. It's mad, yeah. But it is something I want to start doing again, reading books, yeah. Yeah. Favorite quote? The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Is a very,
Brilliant.
very good one, I believe.
And never a truer moment in the current COVID-19 crisis.
Yeah. Just to try kind of spread a bit of happiness and just be kind, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Two people who inspire you.
Ronaldinho was one, anyways. He was a genius with a football.
You remember that goal in one of the World Cups?
Against England.
A lovely lobby, and
lobbed the keeper, yeah.
Bang.
There's so many of them. He was just phenomenal. He's probably my favourite footballer of all time.
Yeah.
And I suppose my daughter as well, like.
Super. What's her name?
Evie.
Evie, yeah.
She changes your world, so she does.
Right, Stan, thanks a million for coming on the Bootcast. Hope to have this one live in a couple of weeks. And best of luck with the Footgolf Tour when the courses reopen again and all this COVID-19 is behind us in the past.
Yeah, thanks a million. As I said, really appreciate being on the show. Like listening every week.
Happy days. Cheers, Stan. Bye-bye.
Listen, use your mindset. Thanks very much. Bye.